1943, Abraham Maslow published a theory of human motivation in an attempt to formulate a positive theory of motivation. Basically, what motivates humans. Given what was going on around the world in the 1930s and 1940s, trying to understand what motivates humans was a very reasonable question to ask. Over the next 45 years, Maslow continued to study and refine this concept, which we now call Maslow's hierarchy of needs. All sapient creatures have a tiered system of desires where the lower tier must be fulfilled before the higher tiers can be addressed. The first of which are physiological needs like food, security, and safety. It is quite true that man lives by bread alone, when there is no bread. But what happens to man's desires when there is plenty of bread and when his belly is chronically filled? At once, other and higher needs emerge, and these, rather than physiological hungers, dominate the organism. And when these in turn are satisfied, again new and still higher needs emerge, and so on. This is what we mean by saying that the basic human needs are organized into a hierarchy of relative prepotency. As you progress through the acts of Ravager, you are basically climbing your way up Maslow's pyramid. Acts 1 and 2 are about food, safety, and shelter. Acts 3 and 4 focus on family, intimacy, and respect. How will this story ultimately end? Can anyone truly unlock their full potential in a society mired in violence, avarice, and mistrust? One of the greatest tools of fiction is that it allows us to explore reality in ways that can be easier to swallow. Our main character is a dragon. We expect dragons to be rapacious and violent and less than civilized. The behavior of the main character is likely more tolerated by players because it is a dragon. I think this game would have a completely different vibe if the main character was human and still did all of the same bad behaviors. While you are given choices over many of your actions, and there is a metric that tracks cruelty and mercy, you still will be faced early on with many seemingly savage decisions. This is a world not of good and evil, but one of evil and less evil. There are occasional moments and glimpses of purity, but those feel more like a narrative device to further show how awful this world really is. I think that the most unbelievable part of Grimdark Worlds for me is that society still functions to some degree in spite of how bleak the world is. Collapse and decline are always the outcome when sapiens abandon the social contract en masse. It takes centuries to rebuild what can be destroyed in a generation. Will we get a happy ending with Ravager? Or will the unending hunger, violence, and destruction ultimately result in a snake eating its own tail? I'm not so sure we even deserve to survive in a world so devoid of justice and humanity. But then I think that is the point of Maslow. We can't have humanity unless our most basic needs are met. Our civility, our compassion, and our species' seemingly inexorable march of progress only lasts as long as our bellies are full. What is the ultimate lesson that we should learn from Ravager? Is it that each of us has a hunger inside that can never be quelled, and that the ceaseless pursuit of that need will only destroy us and those around us? Is it that the only path to glory is to dominate and destroy all obstacles in front of us? Maybe it is that true satisfaction in life is as fantastical and impossible as the existence of dragons. Until next time, no shaming, just gaming.